Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 1st of July 2024 and what happened yesterday guys, that is 31st of July 2024, Jerome Powell did go ahead and make a decision to keep the interest rate the same and that is kind of a good thing for the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? So in today's episode, I'll definitely go ahead and discuss this, but what I'd really recommend you guys to do is go to the YouTube channel of Federal Reserve Board and listen to what Jerome Powell has actually said, and he does give out his reasoning as to why he has gone ahead and decided to go ahead and keep the interest rate the same. So in today's episode, we'll definitely delve into that. Now in today's episode, guys, we're also going to be discussing some news regarding Tether USDT, and they have actually published an attestation report that shows a record-breaking profit of $5.2 billion. Now look guys, 2024 has turned out to be the best year for Tether USDT, isn't it? So I'll definitely go ahead and discuss what this report is. Now it's really important to note, guys, that this is an attestation report, but if you actually go to the website and if you do want to go ahead and check the final details, there is an official link in the show notes, so you can go ahead and check through that as well. Now it's really important to note, guys, that the report that is published in Tether's website, it is only 11 pages long, but if you look at Circle USDC's report, it is 116 pages long, so we'll very briefly touch base on that. Now regarding Bitcoin mining, guys, we do have some update. Now it's really important to understand, guys, that so far as Bitcoin mining difficulty is concerned, every 2016 block, the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted, isn't it? Now the news essentially is that what happened is on Wednesday, the Bitcoin mining difficulty rose by 10.5%, so we'll very briefly touch base on that news. Now look guys, this is definitely not good news for miners, because what it means, they will have to go ahead and spend more electricity, more resources to go ahead and mine new Bitcoins, so we'll definitely go ahead and have a look at that. Now finally guys, towards the end of the episode, we are going to be discussing an exploit on Terra blockchain, and they have lost $4 million. And earlier this week guys, we also talked about Casper Network. They had a security breach of $230 million, isn't it? So it looks like notorious actors are definitely trying to benefit by using exploit in other terms. Definitely not good in my opinion. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee a Day podcast, we are going to be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news guys seems to be positive news. Now the first news is regarding Commercial Bank of Dubai, and they are introducing core banking services for virtual asset service providers. This, to be honest guys, is definitely a brilliant move because it makes banking so much easier, particularly for companies who are offering crypto as a service or even blockchain as a service in it. So definitely positive news. Now the second news guys is to do with artificial intelligence and Digital Dubai. They have approved measures to implement strategic vision for AI-powered data center economy. So I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information regarding this. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm, and here's the beautiful thing guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OR is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is
download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now the global cryptocurrency market, guys, is down to $2.36 trillion, but since the last 24 hours it is marginally up by 0.07%. Now if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, it is at $63.74 billion, and since the last 24 hours it is marginally up by 4.31%. Now look, as the only reason why these numbers are this way is because of whales and notorious traders. They are trying to manipulate the market because they want to use the FOMC meeting and the advantages in it. And just a few minutes ago, guys, the FOMC meeting was out. And to be honest, guys, the FOMC meeting is kind of favorable so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next 24 to 48 hours. We might definitely see some positive movement so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned. Now I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information regarding the FOMC meeting, and I'll also go ahead and discuss what does that mean for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now so far as the volume in DeFi is concerned, guys, no matter what happens in the cryptocurrency space or even at a macro level, the volume of stable coins is completely stable, which is so bizarre, isn't it? And the volume as of today, that is the 1st of August, is only at $3.53 billion. And DeFi as of today is accounting for 5.55% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at the total value locked, guys, it is below the $100 billion mark at $99.89 billion, with Lido still dominating at $32.67 billion. Now decentralized exchange dominance, guys, it is about the 20% mark, and today it is at 21.73%. Now let me quickly run through the volume of stable coins, guys, because this week we saw Radium overtaking the volume of Uniswap, isn't it? Looks like that is only for one day, and Uniswap is at number 1 once again, and its volume is $1.68 billion. Radium, guys, is at number 2nd, and its volume is only at $749.55 million. PancakeSwap is at number 3rd, its volume is $542.83 million. Orca, guys, is at number 4th, its volume is $488.67 million. And finally at number 5th, guys, is Aerodrome, and its volume is $254.27 million. Now let me quickly run through the volume of stable coins, guys, because sadly the numbers are low, and as of today stable coins is accounting for a higher percentage of 90.61% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. It is at $62.88 billion, and stable coins as of today. Now look, guys, I wouldn't be surprised in the next 24 to 48 hours, the volume of stable coins will actually pump up by roughly around 20 to 30%, because the details of the FOMC meeting is kind of positive for the cryptocurrency world, isn't it? And later on, I'll also go and discuss the USDT's report, which showed that they have made a profit of over $5 billion. Now, if you look at the volume of stable coins, guys, Tether USDT is accounting for majority of the chunk at $50.33 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $5.43 billion in FTUSD, guys. Its volume is almost at $5 billion mark, at $4.99 billion to be precise. Now, let me quickly run to the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because to be honest, guys, the numbers are not that great, and Bitcoin's market cap is down to $1.28 trillion, whereas Ethereum's market cap, guys, it is down to $389 billion. Definitely not looking good for Ethereum, which is a bit bizarre, guys, considering the fact that just a week ago, a spot Ethereum trading went live, isn't it? So keeping all these things in mind, the market cap of Ethereum should be well past the $400 billion mark in my opinion. Now, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, guys, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $30.57 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is at $15.83 billion. Now look, guys, because the FOMC meeting was just out, I'm pretty much sure a lot of the whales and traders are trying to manipulate the market, and these are things, guys, you need to be aware about, because a lot of notorious traders, they would have gone short, and they would have sold a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency since the last 48 hours. Now, if you look at the dominance, guys, Bitcoin's dominance has actually gone down since the last 24 hours. Yesterday, I believe it was around the 55% mark, isn't it? Today, it is at 54.85%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is down to 16.70%. Now, in today's episode, guys, I'm going to be running through an interesting matrix that has to do with bridge total value locked across all chain. Now, so far as the bridge total value locked across all chain is concerned, it refers to the total value locked, particularly in DeFi protocols that utilizes cross-chain bridges. Now, TVL, guys, measures the total amount of assets, such as, let's say, cryptocurrencies, that are staked or locked in DeFi protocols, isn't it? Specifically, guys, in the context of bridge total value locked, this pertains to assets that have been transferred between different blockchains, and this is done by using cross-chain bridges. Now, it's really important to understand, guys, that these bridges are essential for enabling interoperability between different blockchain networks because it allows for seamless asset transfers and interactions across various DeFi ecosystems. So by aggregating the value of assets locked in DeFi protocol across multiple blockchains, including those bridged between different chains, this particular matrix provides insights into how much value is being utilized and transferred through these bridging techniques. Now, so far as interoperability and bridge TVL is concerned, guys, we need to understand that interoperability refers to the ability of different blockchain networks to go ahead and communicate and interact with one another, isn't it? And bridge total value locked is kind of like a key indicator of interoperability, showcasing the effectiveness of cross-chain bridges in facilitating asset movement between otherwise isolated blockchains. So this particular matrix, guys, that I'm going to be reading out shows the extent to which various networks are interacting and how DeFi services are being accessed across multiple platforms. Now look, guys, you can go to DeFiLlama.com and you can go ahead and run through these numbers yourself as well. Now what is a bit surprising, guys, is so far as the top 5 chains by bridge total value locked is concerned, it is Solana blockchain, and the total value locked is $21.75 billion, followed by Arbitrum, and the amount that is locked is $14.36 billion. Tron blockchain, guys, is at number 3rd, and the total value locked is $12.39 billion. Binance Smart Chain, guys, is at number 4th, it is at $9.21 billion, and finally at number 5th is $7.89 billion. So look, guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is try to look at different matrix. It gives you an understanding as to which matrix has been used. I was completely baffled to see Solana at number 1. I was actually expecting Binance Smart Chain to be number 1. Not only, guys, it is at number 1, it is number 1 by a massive margin, isn't it? Now, guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now, the prices of Bitcoin, guys, right now is marginally down, but I'm pretty much sure in the next coming hours, the prices will be pumping up, because right now it is at $65,787, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 2.01%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 1.77%. Ethereum, guys, is at $3,231. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.08%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 4.24%. Binance BNB Coin, guys, is at $578. But since the last 24 hours, it is up by 0.73%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 0.39%. Now look, guys, the only reason why the market is looking red, that is because of the FOMC meeting, isn't it? Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss the FOMC meeting that did actually take place on the 31st of July, and that was out at roughly around 10 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. And as I promised, guys, I would like to cover it in my episode today. Now look, as one of the biggest events that tends to take place every month, that is the FOMC meeting. Now the FOMC meeting, guys, does have a massive impact on the finance world, in the fiat world, stock market, and more importantly in the cryptocurrency world as well. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to the Federal Reserve Board website. It gives you the specific calendar and date as to when the announcement is made. Now, regarding the FOMC meeting that did actually happen yesterday, that is the 31st of July 2024, what Jerome Powell said is that the economic activity is solid and the job gains are moderate. He also stressed that inflation has eased, but it is still high at the moment, and what he said that the committee is aiming for max employment at 2% inflation. Now look, so far as the economic outlook is concerned, he clearly stated that the economic outlook is uncertain and the risks are balanced. And regarding federal funds rate, guys, they went ahead and decided to keep the interest rate somewhere between 5.25% to 5.5%, which is exactly the same as last time, and the rate change depends on data and risk balances. Now regarding the rate cuts, guys, he clearly said he's still not confident to go ahead and reduce it, and they tend to look at quite a lot of different factors such as labor, inflation, and global factors as well. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in the show notes below, I'll put up a link where Federal Chairman Powell did actually go live, and he did go ahead and give his reasoning as to why he has decided to keep the interest rate the same. Now look, Jerome Powell gave his reasons for keeping the interest rate unchanged. Now regarding the unemployment, guys, he did actually state that the unemployment rate was increasing. And what happens is, guys, every time he goes live, there is also a question and answer session as well. And he was asked something regarding CBDCs. Now he clearly stressed that the Federal Reserve Board has no plans of implementing CBDCs yet, and also the Federal Reserve Board does not have any authority to go ahead and launch any retail CBDC. Also, guys, what he actually said, which I'm hoping a lot of people in the LinkedIn world will actually cover, is that according to him, CBDC is not a good idea. To be completely honest, guys, I was a bit shocked when he actually said that, because when I listen to podcasts, people often talk about Federal Reserve Board wanting to go ahead and launch their CBDCs. This is definitely not true, isn't it? So that is one of the reasons, guys, I often say, make sure you go ahead and listen to information from first source. And Jerome Powell did clearly state that he does not have any intentions of launching CBDCs. Now the big question, guys, is what does this have to do with the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? Now look, an interest rate unchanged or lower would actually be beneficial for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So I do feel in the next 24 to 48 hours, we will definitely see a spike so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, keep a track of what is going on so far as the volume of stable coins is concerned. That would give us an indication on which direction the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies would be moving towards, isn't it? Those are my honest thoughts. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss some news regarding Tether and Tether Holdings Limited, guys. They are published an attestation report by BDO, which actually highlights a record of $5.2 billion in profit, and this is for the first half of this year. And so far as the profit of quarter 2 is concerned, that was around $1.3 billion. Let me just run through a couple of highlights regarding the report that touches base on record profit, treasury bill ownership, group equity, token reserves, strategic investment, and also token issuance. Now, regarding record profit, guys, as I mentioned earlier, Tether reported a net profit of $1.3 billion for quarter 2 of 2024 and a total of $5.2 billion for the first half of 2024, marking its highest profit ever. And regarding treasury bill ownership, Tether has reached an unprecedented level of ownership in US treasuries, totaling over $97.6 billion. This places Tether 18th globally in US debt ownership and third in purchasing 3-month US treasuries. And regarding group equity, guys, the group's equity increased by $520 million, reaching nearly $12 billion. This was despite a drop in Bitcoin prices. Now, this was partially offset by gains in gold investments. Now, regarding token reserves, guys, what that report actually states is that the reserves for Tether tokens in circulations were reportedly at approximately $118.4 billion, with liabilities at $113.1 billion, and the value of the assets exceeded liabilities of $5.3 billion. And the report also touches base on strategic investment, and Tether has reinvested some profits into strategic projects, maintaining a $5.3 billion in excess reserves to ensure token stability. And so far as token issuance is concerned, what the attestation report states is that over $8.3 billion in USDT was issued in quarter 2 of 2024, and the CEO of Tether, that is Paulo Adriano, emphasized the company's commitment to transparency, stability, and responsible risk management, and he has highlighted financial strength and leadership in the stablecoin industry. Now look, guys, what I plan to do is, somewhere in the month of August, I do want to have a standalone episode on stablecoins, where we go and discuss what is stable coins, the definition of stable coins, why do we need stable coins. We'll also go and touch base on the different types of stable coins. We'll go and touch base on reserve-backed stable coins. We'll go and touch base on AI-backed stable coins. We'll also go and touch base on algorithmically backed stable coins. And more importantly, guys, I'll go and touch base. Do stable coins follow the ethos of open blockchain? Because look, guys, stable coin issuers, they can definitely go and block your transactions, isn't it? So if you do want to go and partner with this event, guys, drop me an email to unfedblockchaindxb.com, and I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information in my Crypto and Coffee Day podcast when I go ahead and plan to have this session. Now, guys, let's go ahead and touch base on some news regarding Bitcoin mining difficulty. Now, look, guys, every 2016 block, the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted. So in a nutshell, guys, what that means, if there are too many miners mining for a Bitcoin, if it is difficult, on every 2016 block, it becomes easier or it becomes difficult. Now, regarding this news, guys, what Bitcoin.com has published, the Bitcoin network has recently experienced its most significant difficulty adjustment since October 2022, with a 10.5% increase driving the metric to a record 90.67 trillion. And what Bitcoin.com has reported, guys, is that on Wednesday, at block height number 854,784, Bitcoin's mining difficulty saw its largest increase of the year and the most substantial since October of 2022, and this difficulty, guys, rose by 10.5%, climbing from 82.05 trillion to 90.67 trillion. Now, this shift, guys, signifies a 10% increase in the effort required to find a block compared to previous 2 weeks, or 2016 block to be precise. Now, look, guys, so far as the Bitcoin mining industry is concerned, whenever there is a halving, and if the prices of Bitcoin does not reach a new all-time high, these miners tend to go on losses, isn't it? Because it does become extremely expensive to go and mine a Bitcoin. Now, I do very specifically remember, guys, when the Bitcoin mining did actually take place, it costed somewhere between $52,000 to go and mine one single Bitcoin. But after that, the prices of mining one Bitcoin almost tripled. So these are things miners need to be aware of as well. And that is one of the reasons why, guys, they're expecting the prices of Bitcoin to reach new all-time high. Now, it's really important to note, guys, that miners tend to make fees by transaction fees as well, and that's one of the reasons why miners are definitely in favor of ordinals and runes as well. Now, regarding this news, guys, it is also important to note the last increase of this magnitude occurred on 10th of October 2022, while a slightly smaller rise of 10.6% was recorded on January 15, 2023. Now, guys, let's go and touch base on some unfortunate news regarding an exploit, and a Terra blockchain exploit led to the loss of $4 million in token. This included $60 million in Astro tokens, and this caused the price of Astro to drop to an all-time low. And according to a blockchain security firm called Biosin, the attack drained bridged assets, including 2.7 Bitcoin, $3.5 million in USDC, and $500,000 in USDT stablecoin. Now, look, guys, I'm pretty much sure Circle USDC and Tether USDT might be able to freeze that account. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, try to follow the Twitter account of Biosin, and it is in the show notes below. And what they're actually stating is that the attacker exploited a reentrancy vulnerability in the timeout callback of IBC hooks, and the vulnerability, guys, was disclosed in April of this year. Now, what they have done is, guys, they have provided a link to GitHub where you can actually go and see the code yourself as well. Now, regarding this news, guys, the Terra blockchain team via Twitter did actually state that the chain will be halted shortly at block height number 11,430,400 and transactions will not be processed during this time. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, what the update to this is. It could be possible, guys, by the time you're listening to the episode, they have restarted the blockchain. But look, guys, it is so unfortunate that we have to go and stop producing blocks. This just brings a massive red flag that there is a centralized entity who can go and stop these transactions, isn't it? Definitely unfortunate news. So those were the newscasts on the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first newscast is a positive news, and this is with Commercial Bank of Dubai, and they are introducing core banking services for virtual asset service providers. This, to be honest, guys, will be an absolutely massive deal, and it's great that they are an early adopter, because when I speak to clients, guys, there are so many companies who are searching for banking services, and CBD or Commercial Bank of Dubai introducing core services could be an absolutely game changer in my opinion. So let me go ahead and give out more information, guys, regarding this, because this initiative demonstrates Commercial Bank of Dubai's commitment to fostering innovation in the digital asset ecosystem, and they offer dedicated accounts of virtual asset service providers to manage client money and regulatory requirements. And this service, guys, complies with regulations on Central Bank of UAE and also with Dubai's WARA, that is Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. Now look, guys, Dubai is recognized as a hub for virtual assets, attracting many virtual asset service providers, isn't it? So Commercial Bank of Dubai, guys, provides tailored banking solutions to meet the specific needs of virtual asset service providers, and the bank's services adhere to regulatory framework that is established by VARA. Now Laser Digital, guys, which is Nomura Digital Asset subsidiary, is the first virtual asset service provider to use Commercial Bank of Dubai services. Now regarding Laser Digital, guys, I definitely covered this in my Crypto and Coffee Day podcast, and they were established in Dubai last year, and they offer trading services and digital asset investment products. Now regarding Commercial Bank of Dubai, guys, they ensure that virtual asset service providers operate within Dubai's legal and regulatory framework, and client funds are segregated into multiple accounts to go and reduce risk and enhance efficiency. And Dr. Bernd van Linde, the CEO of Commercial Bank of Dubai, has emphasized the bank's role in supporting the digital economy. Now look, guys, I definitely do feel this is an absolutely massive niche area, and there is a lot of opportunities, guys. And it is great that the Commercial Bank of Dubai is seeing this as an opportunity, and this initiative, guys, also aligns with Commercial Bank of Dubai's strategic vision to promote a robust regulatory environment. And Commercial Bank of Dubai aims to attract virtual asset service providers to Dubai, encouraging them to base their business in the Emirate. And this initiative also supports Dubai's ambition to be an international hub for virtual assets. Now look, guys, so far as Commercial Bank of Dubai is concerned, they were established in 1969, and they are a leading bank in the UAE, and they're listed on the Dubai financial market as well. And Commercial Bank of Dubai, guys, offers a full range of retail and commercial banking products and services. Definitely a brilliant move in my opinion. Now look, guys, as I mentioned earlier, when I speak to a lot of businesses that are offering, let's say, crypto as a service or blockchain as a service, they're actually looking for banking services, and Commercial Bank of Dubai offering them these services is an absolutely massive deal, and it is a win-win solution in my opinion. And I'm really curious to check how the different banks would react to this. I'm pretty much sure, guys, they would be coming up with incentives for people to go ahead and use their banking services in it. Definitely positive news. Now, guys, let me go ahead and touch base on another news, and this is to do with an AI-powered data center economy. And the Digital Dubai, guys, they have approved measures to implement strategic vision for AI-powered data center economy. Another positive news for the Emirate of Dubai, I guess. And Dubai Digital, guys, they have approved measures to implement strategic vision for data center economy aligned with Dubai economic agenda of D33. Now, the D33 agenda aims to increase Dubai's economic productivity by 50%, and they want to do that through digital innovation. And Digital Dubai, in collaboration with government and private sectors, is working to position Dubai as a leader in AI-powered data centers. And a study by Digital Dubai, guys, identified opportunities for coordination to attract and establish AI data center, and the strategic vision for AI-backed data center is expected to add over $14.3 billion in value by 2028. This initiative will create more job opportunities in the digital economy related to data centers. Definitely positive news. And the vision, guys, will enhance Dubai's readiness for technologies like Web3, Metaverse, smart cities and IoT as well. And they aim to strengthen partnership in areas such as sustainable artificial intelligence as well. And key partners include Telecommunication and Digital Government Regulatory Authority and Dubai Electricity and Water Authority as well. And the strategy represents an advanced stage in digital leadership and also for the digital economy for Dubai, and it seeks comprehensive integration and coordination among entities like Digital Dubai and the Department of Economy and Tourism, and initiatives include developing high-performance computing and using advanced data centers as well. Definitely positive news. Now look, as this news suggests this, that is beneficial not just for Dubai or the Middle East, but also for the broader cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence sector, isn't it? Definitely positive news. So those were the news, guys, on the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, please feel free to go and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. It is packed with loads of information in the world of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse, central bank digital currency, stable coins, and even artificial intelligence. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB, listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse, I have a question by Nishant who asks, with Tether's record profit and growing US Treasury holdings, how do you see its role evolving in the cryptocurrency ecosystem? Now that is such a brilliant question, to be honest, Nishant. But when you talk about cryptocurrencies, most of the volume is actually driven by stable coins and Tether USDT to be precise. Now look, me personally, I'm not a fan of Tether USDT, and if you actually go through the history, there are quite a lot of notorious activities you can question about. There were also talks about Tether USDT is the one who's going ahead and buying a lot of Bitcoin, and that is one of the reasons why we did see a lot of price increase going back in 2020 as well. Now look, so far as the auditing is concerned, the audit report of Tether USDT is a bit dodgy as well. The very first audit that they have done, Nishant, was literally a pie diagram, and even if you look at the attestation report today, which is different to the audit report, it is only 11 pages long, but nonetheless, when you talk about Tether USDT, Nishant, Tether's record profit and expanding US Treasury holdings does actually highlight its increasing influence and also a strategic position in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Now regarding your question, I do feel that Tether's significant profit and robust reserve holdings do actually underscore its commitment to maintaining a stable and transparent stable coin, and this financial strength reassures users and institutional investors about the stability of USDT, isn't it? And historically, they have never had any problem. Now what I'd really recommend you to do is, the CEO, that is Paulo Adriana, he does have an episode with Bankless where he actually talked about how the hedge funds, they were trying to take down Tether USDT, but Tether USDT was really strong and they were able to back the funds. Now this financial strength reassures users, isn't it? Now one thing what I really like is Tether's substantial US Treasury holdings, because it does position itself as a significant player in the global financial system, not just in the cryptocurrency market, to be honest, because by holding a large portion of the US government debt, Tether indirectly influences the broader financial market as well, because they are in a position to provide liquidity and thereby increase the stability as well. And this role, I do feel, Nishant, could enhance its leverage in negotiation with other financial entities and regulators as well. Now look, so far as regulatory scrutiny is concerned, as Tether's influence and holding expands, it may actually attract more regulatory attention, and regulators must scrutinize its reserves and financial practices more closely, which could lead to increased oversight and potential regulatory changes in stablecoin space as well. Now what I do feel is that Tether is likely to see increased integration into traditional financial systems, and probably they might be heading towards more partnership with major financial institutions. That is definitely a possibility, isn't it? But look, Nishant, Tether is definitely a massive player, not just in the cryptocurrency space, even for the finance world. To be honest, I know quite a lot of people who absolutely have no idea what cryptocurrencies are, but they are using Tether USDT for the businesses. Now, I do plan to have a session somewhere in the month of August where I want to get in touch into all of these areas that you talked about and quite a lot more as well. And if you do want to go ahead and participate in it, either as a sponsor or do want to go ahead and help in setting up the event, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. And even for our listeners, if you do want to go ahead and sponsor the event, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. But excellent question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto with Coffee podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And also, guys, please feel free to go and check out my website. It is packed with loads of information in the world of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, stablecoins, and even artificial intelligence. And lately, I've been covering some news regarding central bank digital currency as well. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.